My fellow human beings, I am being drugged heavily, and it causes serious ailments, loss of coordination. I even have trouble, and I'll go ahead and say it, with sexual side effects, you know, slurred speech and extreme irritation at times. They are drugging me and hoping to get me to the psych ward, where, just like in the past, they continue to drug me and make it so that I take psych meds, which really causes serious cognitive damage. It's all the cognitive damage from psych meds, plus whatever drugs they're giving me, which make it very hard to do physical activity and make me very irritated. And it feels like it's causing brain damage. I hear my brain like popping. It's a weird, And I have 15 witnesses, including somebody who tested the drinks that were in my fridge, right? And she reported the same symptoms without knowing what they were, which was basically proof positive that yes, it's not in my head. I have 2 other witnesses to the fuming. One of them I had to covertly record because no, they would not have gone on record and been honest. So there's so much going on, and ultimately, I think the most important part of all this is that it is my message of God that they're suppressing. It's not just Christianity or the Bible. It's this particular accurate or mostly accurate interpretation of the Bible that they are suppressing, and it causes people to be conscientious objectors. Look up what that is. Your government does not want you to object. Your corporations do not want you to say no. They want you to be yes men. And they want you to be conformists for the same reason as everyone else. So whenever, somebody starts having a moral crisis or a crisis of conscience, other people bring them back into the fold, so to speak. Bring them back into the state of mind that they're in that allows them to do these things. I've made many videos, and we live in a very evil time, but ultimately, there has to be that forgiveness, even in when you're fighting a war physically. Love your enemies and forgive them. And these drugs that they give me make it harder for me to forgive. I say things that are borderline racist and racist, things that I wouldn't say otherwise. The drugs make it so I struggle even more to forgive them when I already struggle. Okay? It's like they're making me act like a psychopath without being as dangerous as one, is the idea. To play me out, to bring in national security. I believe that guy named Gavin Long, I believe it was his birthday when he, did the shootings, okay? On 9/11, which is around my birthday, they tried to set me up. And they tried to set me up for the past couple of days in dramatic fashions. Putting a credit or a debit card in the wash so that I would accuse my brother, because there's no other, logical way they would have got there, except for someone else in my family misrepresenting where they found it or something. Okay, I've been fumed. My dad's been coming to my room, and I have a video recording of me, basically, rebuking him for his unrepentant, sinful activities. And you can see that, this is typically what happens. I'm right. I have a good grievance. I'm reasonably upset. And at the time, I'm not even getting carried away. It is this kind of control freak mentality that we have in America that exists even in our parents, where they will throw you to the wolves if they feel slightly disrespected. Let's face it, whether or not you're in your parents' home or not, that does not make them right to throw you to the wolves if they feel disrespected. That's not what happened to me, but it made me think about that. They're wrong, especially if you're being persecuted by the fucking government. You have to love your God first and foremost. So I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to stop resisting. I'm not going to stop fighting. And I want you all to consider and to know. 15 witnesses. I go to Santa Cruz where the lieutenant the Santa Cruz Police Department went on record, said gang stalking is real. And that's where I go all the time. Most of the week I'm over there in Santa Cruz County, not over here in Santa Clara County. Okay? I go to the places where the police even have admitted on the news that gang stalking is real. Okay? I'm being persecuted for my views. And part of this is that whites don't like colored people to show them up, you know? And I wouldn't be surprised if they were drugging my dad before me and many blacks before that. And I personally believe that, you know, when I see this rage, you know, in the gang members that kind of attracted to me to them when I was younger, I can't help but think about, you know, the chemical substances in the street drugs and the prescription drugs and the foods and stuff. I can't help but see that there's a connection between drugging, you know, the revolutionary spirit out of me and, you know, the drugging of and the psychological operations that were designed to, you know, push the revolutionary spirit out of the black community and replace it with complete controlled opposition views, you know, to where the so-called revolutionaries are the people in the groups who see things the way that the colonists and the oppressor do, you know, on a level of secret society philosophy, Western philosophy, and things of that nature. So ultimately, you know, my life is glorifying God, you know, resisting them, resisting the temptation to be socially normative, which is probably the most dangerous temptation of all in these times we live in, you know, glorifies God. I didn't just glorify God through my challenge. I glorified God by rejecting their offers, you know, and carrying my cross. You know, that is love. Love that you gays don't understand. Love that you feminists don't understand. Love that most of you non-Christians do not understand. That is love. And without love like that, we are all better off going extinct.